with Google Ads is single-handedly the most important thing you can get right for your e-commerce brand. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly how each Google bidding ad strategy works and which one is the best for your own e-commerce brand. Now, first and foremost, the most simplest bidding strategies, which are available for majority of the standard shopping campaigns, even search campaigns, is the bidding by the clicks. Now, there's two different bidding strategies for this: maximize clicks and manual CPC. Essentially, what maximize clicks does is it's within the name. It tries to maximize as many clicks as it can get for your e-commerce brand, which means if you're trying to optimize for purchases, this maximize clicks bidding strategy will now try to go after the people who have a higher likelihood of clicking your ad, but at the same time have a higher likelihood of actually purchasing your product. That's essentially what maximize clicks does. It tries to generate as much traffic as it possibly can. Now, its counterpart, manual CPC, which essentially means that you are now bidding the same way as you would with a maximize clicks bidding strategy in the hopes of generating a lot of extra traffic. However, with manual CPC, you have a lot more control on the bids you are doing per ad group or per product. So you have the ability to change the bid per ad group. Now, we get a little bit more into the smarter bidding strategies, and this is where things really get interesting. The first major bidding strategy, which is available across a wide variety of different campaign types from standard shopping, performance max, demand gen, etc., is the target ROAS strategy. This is essentially when we go on over to the campaigns dashboard, we go inside maybe, for example, a performance max campaign, we can see the target ROAS strategy in effect. So going on over to the settings, all of these performance max campaigns have only two bidding strategies, but essentially there's two different ways you can go about this. First is by maximizing conversion value, which is where you go after a target ROAS. Now, this type of bidding strategy, it's essentially trying to get you as high revenue as possible at that set target ROAS. So if you have a target ROAS set, let's say of 500%, like in this situation, what it will try to do is it will try to get your ROAS levels and ROAS figures for this campaign above 500% by boosting up the revenue values. How does it do that? It does it by going after the products with the highest average order value. This is why average order value is so important with Google. The other bidding strategy is the optimizing for conversions. When you optimize for conversions, you are essentially optimizing for more volume. So in this situation, what's going to happen is instead of it trying to go after the highest average order value product, it's now going to go after the product which has the highest likelihood of selling. Why? Because it's trying to get as many sales as possible for your brand, and you have the ability to add a target cost per acquisition at what level you want these sales coming in. This is ideal more for subscription-based brands, for skincare and beauty brands, where you know that you are going to have to get a lot more volume initially, because this volume may turn into recurring buyers or may turn into subscription. So this is where the biggest difference is in this strategy and this kind of marketing angle. But now the next bidding strategy, which most e-commerce brand owners don't even know about, it's called the impression share optimization strategy. This is a strategy which is available for search campaigns. So for example, if we go inside the search campaign right here, going over to the campaign settings, we can see this search impression share optimization strategy in effect. So if we go on over to bidding, we can change the bidding strategy and we can actually go after impression share. Now, this impression share strategy essentially is like going after traffic, like going after clicks. You're trying to increase your search impression share, meaning you're trying to get more and more people to view your ads and get more visibility to them. And this can work in a lot of situations because you have the ability to actually tell Google where you want your ads to rank. Do you want your ads to rank anywhere on the results page? Do you want it to rank at the top of the results page? Or do you want the absolute top of results page? Though the biggest difference between absolute top is where in this situation, if we look right here, we can see the absolute top is essentially the first position among the top ads. The top ads are adjacent to top organic search results, whereas you could go after top of results page, which is this essentially among the ads adjacent to the top organic search results. That's the biggest difference between both. But this is a very powerful strategy because this directly tells Google that, hey, you're interested in ranking number one and you can bid accordingly to what your goals are. And essentially, you can also target a percent impression share you want to achieve. You can say in terms of percentages, you want 30% impression share, 50%, 100%. Of course, the higher this number is, the more your bids are going to be because you're now trying to go after a vast majority of the market. Whereas if it's a bit lower, usually you'll end up reaching a small portion of the market, but that might be a lot better for your situation section because that's the highest converting audience possible. And then you can set a maximum CPC bid limit as well here. So very interesting bidding strategy, which we are testing amongst a lot of the brands we are currently working with, which by the way, if you run a brand doing $50,000 or more per month in revenue, you need some extra help scaling to the next level with Google Ads, go onto my website at yourmarketing.com, schedule a completely free call with me, and let's see if we can potentially work together and make that happen. But now the main kind of question, which is which strategy is best in any scenario, in a specific scenario you may be in. So let's start off with the manual bidding strategies like maximize clicks, manual CPC, etc. In 2023, 2024, this would have been the ideal go-to strategy for a lot of the brands which were kind of struggling with performance max campaigns. Now, in 2025 and onwards, the best approach here is to only go with maximize clicks or manual CPC if your ad account does not have good quality data, meaning you know there were conversion tracking issues or just the quality of traffic that was coming in, it was not ideal. Or you're starting a brand new ad account and you just need to get some traction going for your e-commerce brand again. However, the best case scenario here is to transition from these manual bidding based campaigns and to move as quickly as possible into smart bidding based approaches, specifically going after maximized conversion value. And this is because, again, here we optimize for the revenue, for the average order value versus just optimizing for volume, because you don't want a $20 product selling 10 times. You'd rather have a $2,000 product sell 2 times or 3 times and get a lot more revenue as a result. Once you have even a little bit of data, let's say $500 spend in ads or $1,000 in ad spend or more on smart bidding based approach for majority of your campaigns. If we look right here, go back to the campaigns dashboard, we can see that this account has been scaling for quite some time, which is again under my Google Ads agency. But if we look at the bidding strategies, almost all of these bidding strategies are based around a smart bidding based approach. Now we do have some search campaigns here which are running after manual CPC, which is a manual bidding based approach, but these search campaigns are only for branded search. So they're going to basically be getting us sales regardless of what bidding strategy they are running on. The only reason why we like to do manual bidding for branded search is because we want to bid as little as possible while getting as much revenue as possible, which is why if we look at the ROAS values for these campaigns, it's extremely high, 11x, 10x. This is Australia based, but 3x. So this is the situation where manual bidding actually works the best. However, for cold traffic, you ideally want to be going after maximize conversions or maximize conversion value. And in terms of YouTube ads, as you can see, we're going after target CPA, and it's working like a charm here because the overall ROAS values for this target CPA campaign is actually fairly decent at 2.16x, where the break even for this brand is a 1.5x. But long term, you want to be kind of playing around with different bidding strategies because every ad account is different. Some brands work better with maximized conversion value bidding strategies, some brands work better with just manual bidding, and so on and so forth. So the ideal approach, which I always say is often the best approach, is to, if you already have an established Google Ads account, you're running some ads, you're getting decent volume, you're scaling a little bit, is to switch some of the campaigns and go use the 80-20 rule, where 80% of your campaigns are using the bidding strategy which already has worked for your brand or is going after maximized conversion value as a bidding strategy, whereas 20% of your campaigns, maybe even 10 or less, should be focused on these other bidding strategies which you are testing out. Long term, you, after doing a little bit of A/B testing, you want to run with whatever campaign approach is performing the best for your brand. But if you run a brand doing $50,000 or more per month in revenue and you need extra help scaling your brand to the next level, go onto my website at yourmarketing.com, schedule a completely free call with me, and let's see if we can potentially work together and make that happen.